Hi guys, it's Erin McGuire here, owner of Pure Light Wellness. Thank you for tuning into my YouTube video. Make sure to subscribe to this channel so that you always get the latest videos that are being posted, and hit the little bell if you liked the video today. So thank you for being here. Today we're doing another video on people pleasing. It's a big topic, and it's one that sometimes is hard to understand if you're in it. So today's video is like, how do I know if I am a people pleaser? I mean, most of us probably know we're kind of prone to say yes to things that maybe we don't want to. I like to share this because I work with a lot of women that suffer from being people pleasers and perfectionists, and I was one myself. You know, we're never perfect. There's always, you know, a little more work to do. So I can't say that I've mastered not being a people pleaser anymore, but I'm pretty damn good at shifting that if it does come up. It's taken me a long time to get there, but now I help people with that exact same thing, because people pleasing is debilitating. Just worrying about what other people think all the time is debilitating. Afraid to be yourself because people might not like you is debilitating, and it's not fun. It's a good way to get your joy taken from you on a daily basis. So what are the signs that you are a people pleaser? Let's break those down. So the number one thing is you feel responsible for how other people feel. Oh my, this was my reason. This was my number one reason for, you know, being a people pleaser. I'm also a highly sensitive person and an empath, so that doesn't help my situation at all. So already I'm picking up on what other people feel. And then as that people pleaser tendency, I would feel responsible for how they felt. You know, like, oh, are you okay? Is everything okay? Did I say something wrong? You know, these kind of things that we say to people. It's so unhealthy. You are not responsible for anybody's feelings or their happiness, but I'm telling you, that's the number one thing that people pleasers believe. It's my job to make everybody happy. If that's you, I really want you to take this video in and really look at that belief and realize how impossible that belief system is. It's impossible to make anyone else happy, even your partner, even your children. It's impossible to make anyone happy, but you can make yourself happy and radiate that energy out, and the world can feel it, and they'll begin to change. So it starts within. Michael Jackson said it, right? So the change starts within you. Start with the man or woman in the mirror. Number two, if you apologize often, this is a people pleaser tendency. We apologize for everything. I liked to say at one point in my life, I apologized for being born, it seemed like. You know, if somebody ran into me, I remembered this several times. If somebody bumped into me, I'd be like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, sorry I was standing here taking up space and you just ran into me. Ew, no. No, we're not doing that anymore. Stop apologizing. Sorry, we say sorry when we don't even mean it. We really don't mean it. So only say sorry if you really mean it, and stop feeling the need to apologize for everything. It's very submissive. It takes you out of your power center, and it makes you look less professional, right? Like, oh, I'll stay down here and everybody else can be up there, you know, I'll just stay small. We got to stop that. Stop apologizing. Maybe, you know what I did for my group? I have a 12-week Empowered Women program. Highly recommend taking that if you suffer from people pleasing. I made everybody place a jar that says, for every time I say yes when I wanted to say no. So you put that on the outside of the jar. They had to pay themselves $5. Not themselves. You have to donate this money, okay? So get real with yourself. Make it hurt a little bit to keep saying sorry. So that was for people pleasing. So you can do it for that. I'd also create a sorry jar. Every time you say sorry when you don't mean it, or just to say it, you put $5 in the jar. And we got to stop saying it. But hopefully that will help. You feel burdened by the things you have to do. This is another sign of a people pleaser. So when we're feeling overwhelmed by all the things we have to do, it's a really good practice to look at your schedule and look at how many of those things are other people's things that they want you to do. How much of that is actually your stuff and what you really want to be doing? So just take a look at your schedule around that. You have a hard time saying no. This is a huge sign you're a people pleaser. You have a hard time saying no. You feel uncomfortable if someone is angry at you. We want to make it up. I have had clients before that have spoken a boundary or said no to something and then not heard from the person, and so they've reached out and been like, is everything okay? Or they've basically take back all the work they just did because they want to make sure that person isn't angry at them. You need praise to feel good. This is a sign that you're a people pleaser. You go to great lengths to avoid conflict. This is a big one. You don't admit when your feelings are hurt. You just kind of take it, oh, I'll be fine, I'm fine, I'm fine. So let me know how those resonated with you. And then how do we break free from that? You got to start with a small no. I said this in my last video on people pleasing, but start with small no's. And then the more you feel comfortable with small no's, you start making bigger no's. But these are your 2 action items. Start with small no's and stop apologizing. These are things that debilitate your energy and debilitate your power and just take you out of your power center. So make sure you watch my last video on people pleasing, because these 2 videos go together. And one thing to note that I want to leave you with, 2 things I want to leave you with. Number 1, when you start saying no to people and you start speaking your truth and setting boundaries, it's going to feel like people that have a fear of standing in front of a crowd to speak and get anxious and anxiety. It's going to feel like that. It's going to feel so intense, and you might feel extreme anxiety come up, but just know that that's normal. And the second you start sharing your truth, it should subside a little bit. And then the next time you go to do it, it gets easier. I like to share that with people because that's what happened to me. I mean, I had so much anxiety the first time I set a boundary that I was sweating, my armpits were sweating, I was hyperventilating, I was literally shaking. I was so scared to set a boundary with people. And I can report that did go away, and it gets easier every time, and now I don't have those issues anymore. But you've got to start somewhere, and because you've been so trained to not speak your truth, to not stand your ground, to not set boundaries, to not speak for what you need, to not advocate for yourself, it's like a foreign concept. It's like learning a different language. So you've really got to just take some time today or after you watch this video and sit and ask yourself, what is it that you need? And then make one small request. Say no to something. Say no to one thing. And then practice stopping apologizing. When you catch yourself, just say cancel. So these are your 3 action steps. The last thing I want to leave you with, when you start saying no to things, you are going to have to disappoint people. And I remember the first time I heard that self-care requires disappointing people. I mean, I was just mind blown, because I was so, again, attuned to doing for others and not thinking about myself, because I had a lack of self-love that was pretty deep. So you are going to have to possibly disappoint people to take care of yourself, to start getting your strength back, to start standing up for yourself. So I want you to repeat after me. It's safe to disappoint people. Nothing bad is going to happen to you if you say no. You're going to be okay. And in fact, you're going to start getting more fire in your body, and more power and strength is going to come back to you, and you're going to start to feel better about yourself, because you're worth loving. You're deserving of love, and sometimes what we're seeking most is the love we need from ourselves. So every time you stop toxic behavior in your life. Every time you tell somebody no because it's going to exhaust you to do that thing, or it's just not good for you to do it, you're loving yourself. Those are self-loving actions. And it's not selfish. It's self-care is not selfish, because you can't give from an empty cup. So if you're trying to give from an empty cup, you're not really doing things, you're not really giving, right? You're depleting yourself. It's like the batteries on your phone. We have to go charge our phone after so long. It can only go for so long before it starts to die. So you're not going to die by people pleasing, but a part of you is, a part of you, a part of your soul and your spirit dies every time you do that, every time you say yes when you mean no. Because it's like a little slap against your own soul. So start filling up your cup by saying yes to things that feel good to you, and making small requests for the things you need, and saying small no's to those things that are depleting your energy. So I'll be having more videos coming out on this. Stay tuned to that. Make sure to subscribe to the channel to always get the latest videos. Hit that little bell if you liked this video, and leave a comment below. Let me know how you want to shift people pleasing, what your action item is going to be, and maybe come back and comment on the video after you've said that small no. How did it feel? We're curious. We want to know what this is like for you, what this experience is like. It's so empowering, you guys, to start saying yes to yourself. So I want to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching.